Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to MoonKast Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, women and gentle germs, this is the one and the only Griffin G. Child, and I am back in business. God is my witness. This is the MoonKast coming to you December 15th, 2016. I know it's been a long time since I did my last MoonKast. I believe I did my last MoonKast over the summer during the free agency period in which Kevin Durant went to the Golden State Warriors. So I am very happy to be back. The MoonKast has been brought to you today by Moon-Based Chronicles, the double album from yours truly, Griffin G. Child, which is available now. I know I pushed the album back like a million times, but the album is finally available. It was actually released on October 6, 2016. So the album has been out for almost 2 months. I'm still waiting from iTunes and Spotify and Amazon. I'm still waiting to get the sales numbers off of it. But the album is available now. I actually released the first disc on October 6th. And I released like samplers and snippets with songs from the first disc and second disc. The second disc is actually being distributed now on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, all those happy, wonderful, marvelous places. So thank you to all those who have already heard it. There were some people who got free copies. So thank you to all those people who hope you enjoyed it. If you want a free copy, I can get you a free sampler. So just hit me up, Twitter at Griffin_G-Child, or on Facebook, Griffin G Child. There's also YouTube clips and everything ready to go. So once again, the MoonKast has been brought to you today by Moon-Based Chronicles, the double album, available worldwide right now. So we're going to call these new segments the MoonKast Mini Biscuit. So I'm not going to talk long-winded like how I did from last season. We're going to break it down, and so you'll get maybe 10 to 15 minute parts and segments. So we're going to just take it topic by topic. I won't combine the whole thing just to spread it out. I know listening for 50 minutes to an hour can be overwhelming for a lot of listeners. So we're going to call this the MoonKast Mini Biscuit. So it's just mini bites, different segments. We're going to talk about different teams and different topics at different points in time. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the very first topic. So the first mini biscuit, we're going to talk about the New York Knicks, and we're going to talk about if Carmelo Anthony and Anthony Davis were on the same team. So this is the very first topic that I'm going to tackle. The New York Knicks and the New York Knicks and the New Orleans Pelicans. What if they made a trade? So we're going to go ahead and get into that right now. We're not going to take any breaks. We're going to jump right on into it. Now, I haven't heard any rumors. I haven't heard any speculation about these two teams even talking. But I think this would probably be the best trade for both teams, and I'm going to tell you guys why. The New York Knicks, I believe they're currently sitting in, I think, the 4th or 5th spot in the Eastern Conference standings. I believe they have a 14-11 record. So they're in a good cushion. They're in a good spot. But I feel like this needs to be the last season for Carmelo Anthony in New York. And the reason why I say that is for the big 7'3" guy. They call him the unicorn. His name is Kristaps Porzingis. I believe that he is ready to take over New York, and I believe he has the confidence in himself and the ability to carry that franchise. Let's take a look at some of the statistics real quick. Kristaps Porzingis, he's averaging 20.6 points a game, 7.7 rebounds, and 1.6 blocks. Now, for all the analytics stuff, I don't really get into the plus and minus and the per. And, I don't like to really get into a lot of things like that. I like to go off with the eye test, where you can just look at a player's body language, posture, the person's swagger. You can see certain guys are built for certain things. You can just see it, and it looks like he's ready to take that next step. He's ready to make that leap. He's a 7'3" big man that can put the ball on the floor and shoot the three. So he looks like he's going to be the new Dirk. He's going to be the next advanced Dirk Nowitzki. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize. But he's going to be the next version of Dirk, and he's in the big market of New York, and I believe it is time to build the team around him. When you look at other scorers on the team, Derrick Rose is behind Kristaps in scoring, 16.4 points a game. Courtney Lee is averaging right around 10 points a game. So if you look at the leading scorers on that team, they don't have a lot of depth as far as scoring for the future. But this is where the trade comes in. Let's skip over real quick. We're going to skip over to the New Orleans Pelicans real quick. Anthony Davis averaging 30.5 points a game. I believe Anthony Davis and Russell Westbrook are the two top leading scorers in the game. Anthony Davis is averaging 11 rebounds and 2.8 blocks a game. Now, one knock on Kristaps, I think he should be a better shot blocker. I've seen a couple of opportunities in games where he could get the chase down block, but he just doesn't go after the ball. So I would like to see Kristaps be a better shot blocker and a rim protector in the paint. So I would like to see that. And I'd like to see his rebound numbers go up from 7 to around 10 to 12 a game. So that's what I would like to see. Flipping back over to Anthony Davis in the New Orleans Pelicans, they're basically, I don't like to say a one-man team, because a lot of pro athletes in the NBA can play. Because if you can't play, you can't even make it to that level. But it's basically Anthony Davis, the second backup scorer. You have Drew Holiday and Tim Frazier. Buddy Hield, who I was very high on coming into the NBA. I was very high on him being drafted as a scoring two guard. He's still young, so he hasn't quite developed yet. It's going to probably take him a few seasons. But this is what I want to get to right here. What I would like to see is a Carmelo Anthony and a draft pick traded to the Pelicans for Buddy Hield and the draft pick that the Pelicans will have. Right now, they're slotted to get the pick in the 5th spot. So the 5th draft pick, that's the seeding that the New Orleans Pelicans are at right now. So that's the trade I would like to see. The New York Knicks right now, they're in the 20th spot for their draft pick. I'm not sure if they owe it to anybody or not, but I'd like to see the swapping of the draft picks and Carmelo Anthony getting traded for Buddy Hield. I don't think Carmelo can draw a whole lot of players, but you can throw whatever other players in you need to throw in to make to beat the salary demands. I'm not for sure of the Pelicans' salary cap situation right now, but to me, you give Anthony Davis the extra scorer he needs to alleviate the pressure from him. Carmelo Anthony can still draw a double team. So when you draw that double team to Carmelo Anthony, that's going to free up room for Anthony Davis to do his work, whereas Buddy Hield can spread his wings as a two-guard in New York with Kristaps Porzingis, and then the Knicks will have that top 5 pick or top 10 pick for next year, which they can bring in more talent. The Pelicans have kind of hit or miss in the draft, so I believe a first-round draft pick, even if it's later, will still be sufficient enough. Now, this new 2017 NBA draft is supposed to be a phenomenal draft. So, with that being said, there should still be some talent left toward the back end of the first round of the NBA draft. I'm hearing a lot of good news as far as point guards. This is going to be a heavy point guard driven draft, and I'm going to talk about the draft in another segment. So this is the trade I want to see. I think it is time for Carmelo to go. Kristaps needs to take over New York. Kristaps needs to run the Big Apple. Let him take over for New York. There's been a lot of comments made about Phil Jackson toward LeBron James and his posse. I felt like it was way overblown. I don't think it was that serious at all. I don't think Phil Jackson meant any harm by it. I just think it was just an old school way of talking, which Phil Jackson, of course, he's an older gentleman. So it's just an old school way of talking. I don't think it was meant to be anything racial. I also do believe that there's some truth to it, but we do live in this new social media age where you have to really be careful and you have to tiptoe around how you talk to people. You can't really say everything you want to say, especially a general manager commenting on a player from another team. So it doesn't sit too well in today's time. If you look at Phil Jackson, he kind of speaks the same way Red Auerbach used to speak, where Red Auerbach talked about Phil Jackson and the Chicago Bulls back in the mid to late 90s. So he's kind of turned into that late Red Auerbach as far as the way he talks about the game, he talks about players. Now, he said a lot of things about Carmelo holding the ball too long in the shot clock. And what I take from that is he could be trying to get on Carmelo's nerves intentionally so Carmelo can waive his no-trade clause. That's the next thing. They gave Carmelo Anthony a no-trade clause, so Carmelo has to approve of anywhere he wants to go. Thus, the Pelicans deal may not ever happen. But Carmelo can put up a lot of big points in the Big Easy, and he will be a great help to Anthony Davis. Now, they may have to come off with Drew Holiday in that deal, but I feel that with Anthony Davis, I think he needs that scoring help right now. I think he needs another scorer that can put up 20 points a game. And so that is a trade that I would like to see. Carmelo to the Pelicans for Buddy Hield and a first-round draft pick. Now, you could put like a top 5 protection or top 3 protection on it, but that is what I would like to see. You could throw in a couple other players. I do also believe that the Knicks have a couple of second-round picks, so you can throw those players into the deal as well. So once again, Carmelo Anthony going to the Pelicans for Buddy Hield. It is time for Kristaps Porzingis to take over for the Knicks and let him run the show. Now, having said that, there's a big game coming on tonight. The New Orleans Pelicans are going to take on the New York Knicks are going to take on the Golden State Warriors. So that's going to be a big-time game. So we're going to see if Kristaps Porzingis can handle the Warriors or how he fares against Kevin Durant, because he's kind of like a Kevin Durant. So that's going to be a very interesting contest there. And we're going to have to see how he fares against that elite level competition. Now in the future, we're going to talk about the Golden State Warriors, and we're also going to talk about the Cavaliers, and we're going to talk about a lot of other things. But this segment right here was basically built around the New York Knickerbockers and the New Orleans Pelicans, just giving you guys a synopsis or a trade scenario that I would like to see, which will help both teams. Once again, the MoonKast has been brought to you today by Moon-Based Chronicles, the double album from yours truly, Griffin G. Child, available now worldwide. Check out Twitter. Check me out on Twitter, Griffin_G Child. Check me out on Facebook, Griffin G Child. Just Google Griffin G Child. Google Moon-Based Chronicles, MOON space BASE and then Chronicles. So put a space in between Moon and Base. That's the way that they threw it online for me. So Moon Base, but put a space in the middle. So check out that album. It's out. It's ready to go. You've been hearing music, or you've been hearing instrumental music in the background. of all of these MoonKasts. So if you like the instrumental music, you should love this album. So thank you for listening, and I will see you on the next MoonKast Mini Biscuit 2016, December 15th. I am signing off.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Moon Base Radio.